Hello, fellow foreigners. It's Emily, it's Peter, and we are not discovering China. We are living it, baby. So make sure you subscribe. It's funny, it takes a while to get over the, oh, please subscribe. Like, you feel so guilty and everything. Like, I don't know, I'm over it. Get in there.
I don't feel guilty.
Get your face in there.
You should have me as soon as I'm available.
Yeah, with the bell, with the hit those like buttons. Today we're going to be talking about, first, let's do regular business.
Let's talk about stuff.
Yeah.
I have a funny thing to tell you.
Oh.
So kids are funny, as we all know, but looks aren't everything. No, today, so we have a period of time after dinner where it's not time for a lesson. It's just like the kids are finishing up dinner, but, they're hanging out. And so my co-teacher doesn't want them to play with the toys because that's just like a mess and it takes forever to get them to clean it up. So she makes them just go sit on the rug. But I'm like, I don't have to teach a lesson until 5 o'clock. So I'm not going to, I'll go to the bathroom, I'll go organize stuff, but I'm not teaching an extra lesson just because she doesn't want them to play with the toys. Uh-huh. So they have to sit on the rug nicely. Mm-hmm. And then two of the boys, I don't know if she told them to do this or not, but they were being the teacher and they were getting in the kids' faces and going, no happy face, no happy face, because we give happy faces as incentives. Bye bye happy face. And so I guess that's what we're like.
I mean, the kids learn. They live. That's what they're there for, right?
Yeah.
And these are the things that they're going to need to know in life. That's what they need to know
is how to punish other people. I try to use the happy faces as a positive reward because I have read and have experienced that positive rewards for good behavior work better to encourage better behavior than negative rewards of bad behavior. Because there's definitely kids who are acting out to get attention.
What is your ratio? You got a lot of sad faces or happy faces?
Oh, I get only happy faces.
Always? Like when you were a kid and everything?
I don't know. I wasn't given rewards when I was a kid. Oh. I was just expected to be excellent.
Wow. One of those progressive schools.
Yeah. No, I don't know. I gave myself an A++ on homework in first grade, and my teacher added an extra plus.
Did you ever give yourself a sticker?
No, because I have a long-standing hatred of stickers.
Did you ever look in the mirror and just give yourself a smiley face?
Yeah. Another thing the kids do ask for when they do something good and they think they deserve a happy face, they go, happy face. And so I go, okay, here. And I just make
that doesn't count, teacher.
Yeah. It counts.
I can't put that on the books.
But
the other kids are going to look at that and say, deficient.
Yeah.
And I'm going to say, look at the teacher's face. And
yeah.
You're not going to be there.
Do you know what did give me a happy face today?
What?
Our new washing machine.
Oh my God. It's not much.
It's not much.
It's a sad little guy.
It's very little. So our washing machine broke again last week, and so we called our landlord, who's very difficult to get a hold of. She won't speak to us directly, because she hates me. That's the story I've told myself. She hates me, and I take.
I think she just doesn't want to be bothered with anything.
No, she doesn't want to be bothered, and she doesn't speak English.
And doesn't believe that you speak Chinese.
She doesn't believe I speak Chinese, so she won't speak directly to me. But so we tracked her down, and she's like, I'm not going to fix it. I'll just buy you a new one. So she bought a worse one than the one we had, definitely. The old one was a Samsung, and the new one is not.
Off-brand.
Which I miss are the Samsung washers. If you have one, sings a little song at the end. The trout.
The trout song, yeah.
Yeah.
No more. Now it's just got a big.
Yeah, it was just disappointing. And then when they dropped it off, so my coworker, my landlord will talk to my coworker, so she coordinated that. And so my coworker called and she's like, he's outside. He can't come in the apartment though because of COVID, which is we've had outside people in our apartment. Our cleaning people can come in the apartment, so
or why am
I don't know why, but he didn't come in the apartment. But he did, and I was worried, how am I supposed to get this in my apartment? It's a washing machine. Yeah. Peter has back problems. He can't carry it inside. I can't carry it inside.
Our little old lady cart just can barely pick up a little old lady.
So she's like, well, just pay one of the doormen to do it. And the doormen are tiny little old men. They could probably do it though, but I mean, I was like, I really don't.
I mean, they could fit inside the washer.
I don't want to have to pay extra for this washing machine to get into my house.
Nah.
But then the guy like kind of tossed it out of the cart and dragged it with one hand up the handicap ramp, and I was like, oh, I can carry that because it's a tiny little washing machine. But it works. We got it set up.
2 loads down already. It's amazing.
Yeah.
We're having a great time. We're covered in water.
We've got clean clothes at a time of year when you want to change your clothes 3 times a day. So that's
oh my God, instantly just that hot.
Yeah.
That's how insane it is to live in Luzhou.
And humid.
We love it. We love it.
We love Luzhou humidity.
What else we got?
Well, do you want to talk about songwriting?
We got Sino S, I believe, is the person's name, the commenter.
Sinos.
That commented on one of our older videos. I'll try to remember.
It was peppercorn?
It was a Western bar. I'll try to remember to put it up there if I. Oh, look, there it is. That it's been out, I don't know, since last year.
Yeah.
So there wasn't any comments on it because we just started getting viewers. Hi, hello everybody.
Welcome.
And so they commented like, because it's sort of an oddball music video. And they were wondering what like Chinese people think of like this kind of sort of strange music, and we don't really have like a lot of facts on what like music wise, but it sort of make me think like, because we just put out the video yesterday for Fruit to You, and a lot of our music videos they're stories themselves. They're part of our idea of what to vlog as. I mean, we just don't have the skills, the means, or interest to vlog proper.
Yeah. Well, I'll tell you that I always have written fiction my whole life, and I've tried to write songs in the past, and they were like always super embarrassing, so embarrassing that like no one has ever seen those and no one ever will. But working with you, it is like, oh, we could just like write what I see in the room, basically. I mean, it's a little more thought than that, but I think what unlocked it for me is that like you don't have to overthink it. You can just like write down the things that you're thinking about, maybe massage the lyrics to fit a rhythm or a rhyme scheme, but it's way easier than I thought.
Yeah, when we started talking about like a lot of songs are just lists. I mean, there's obvious things like Billy Joel or something like that. But you're just gonna go a laundry list. It's like kind of like trying to tell somebody like, hey, so give me some information, and you're like, well, guitar, lamp, computer, like
I packed a suitcase, some toothpaste, a flannel for my face. All songs are lists.
Which I mean, to me, I mean, we have a lot of different kinds of ways that we vlog because we're storytellers. You're a writer. I'm a musician. I tell stories with pictures and sounds. You tell them with words. Like the idea of how do we tell the story about us living in China? Like we tend to do through writing pieces, through writing music. So in those songs, something like yesterday's piece of Fruit to You, I mean, it's a grocery store song. It was based on the last vlog we did, one of the sentences, which it was just something that came out of a book, and that we're choosing different ways to tell stories in a vlog, and we wanted to like find out, like, I mean, it's not like we're gonna stop doing it or doing it more, I suppose, but like out there in the comments, like tell us like what do you think, because we talked about this a little last time, like being that people have been in China for a while now, there's more stories.
People have been in China for a while now? Is that what you just said?
Yep. Since
5,000 years,
5,000 minutes ago when people arrived. But from a vlogger standpoint of like, I mean, we're to a point where there's enough people out there telling different stories and different ways to tell stories, like your standard idea of what to do with how do you tell a story.
I can say like when I I'm primarily a reader. I don't know if I'm allowed to admit this as a YouTube video maker, but I don't really watch YouTube videos. But as a reader, like I want to hear stories about people. I don't want to read like a lot of nonfiction, this is the way it is kind of polemic, and even like the nonfiction I read, I prefer the ones that have kind of a narrative to it, and that narrative can be personal to the author or personal to the person they're following. But I always want that a peek into someone's reality rather than like someone's guess at what all of our reality is like, because it's never right.
Yeah. I mean, I think that's what's.
So those are the stories I want to consume, and then those are the stories that we want to make.
Yeah, I mean, for myself as a viewer, like I look not just in China vlog, but like throughout YouTube, like I'm looking for people who are telling stories, not.
Yeah.
I mean, there's some informational stuff. I mean, we talk about like comic books or movies or stuff like that. Like, you know, you want the backstage story or whatever. Like that.
Well, you need like there's no such thing as a contextless story. You can't tell a story absent any facts.
Right. But I think you
could, I guess.
Well, yeah. But the exciting thing is that there's more people here doing this now than ever before, and so it's kind of exciting, the thought of like, I was like, we were talking about Alex Absolute out there. We were watching his video from earlier today where he takes his son to kindergarten.
Oh yeah, I liked that a lot. I thought that was good.
Yeah, like the stories from people that are in China, that are foreigners, that are sending the information back. Like it doesn't help me as a viewer. I mean, I'm sure it helps certain people to like, what is China about?
Yeah.
But for us to flourish and grow as storytellers, as people telling the world what it's like, it doesn't help me at all to get like stories of like, this is how the government works, and these are like these boring I think history like dad stories that.
In the fiction analog is like, I'm gonna spend 500 pages telling you about the Bank of Dorn to like make you feel like this book is real. Like, I don't care how your fake bank works in your fake world. Like, tell me about Arya.
Yeah.
Forget everybody else.
The stories themselves are the exciting part, and those are stories of people. Like, informational stuff is fine. But I think we're
I guess everyone needs information sometimes.
Right, how to get to the bank or something like that. But like, it's just a neat place to have more voices that have different ways of expressing themselves about living in China. Like, I mean, our tagline being that we're not discovering China, that we're living it, is that we don't need to tell you stories anymore of like, this is what it's like to, like, if you're going to tell me about the grocery store, tell it to me in an interesting way. I mean, that's what we tried to do with like doing it like about a song. I want to know
about your existence. I don't need to know about the existence of grocery stores.
Right. Because I've having been here long enough and watched enough China vloggers, like, you get to a point where like, you're just kind of done. Like, I don't know, you're not going to tell me anymore about what it's like to go to, I don't know, buy a pet or buy a plant or go to the mall or like that.
Get a
like
haircut.
Yeah, it's constantly, I mean, a lot of people have said, you know, like rose-colored glasses, like, we just got here and it's so awesome. Like, I mean, that's great, but like, tell me how you feel about it, as opposed to tell me the way I should feel about it through
in our little writer's workshop.
Right.
Start with the feelings, not the facts. That's what makes a good story. That's what I can relate to.
Right. So, what we're interested in is down in the comments, like, tell us like what you think about like different stories, different ways of telling stories that are I mean, there's people like what
are the stories you like the best, I guess?
Like people like that are out there now, like Stray Guy or Snarky Guy, or any of the Snarky Guy, anyone with guys like that are out there,
ladies to the front.
That have a different way of putting stories out there, like that aren't just purely information. Here's how you go from A to B. In China. I think we're at an exciting place where we don't have to worry about like telling these stories of like, I mean, because it's just really disappointing to be here so long and having to continuously come up with these arguments that like even like in real life at dinner tables or something, being around people that are going to just like want to argue of whether you like it or not.
Well, I think there are people who enjoy that. That's their mode. Like we're having fun, we're debating, and like for me as a conflict averse person, even if it's a friendly debate, like I don't like it.
Yeah, if you are one of those people, be interesting about it or stay off of our comments.
Spin it into a story, or you're gonna scare me away.
Yeah.
And this is my channel, so I don't have to leave.
Right.
I don't have to leave.
Yeah, just being interesting about it. There's just so much of the conversation of like, I didn't expect to like be here in China and have to like constantly be worried about like, am I saying the right thing? Am I saying, do I like China enough? Am I saying that I shouldn't like it so much? Should I defend my right as an American to talk about? Like,
I get stuck in like the philosophical idea of like, there's no way that I can comprehend objectively the whole and convey it without any bias to somebody else in a way that is meaningful. And I don't want that done to me because I don't believe it can be done. Mm-hmm. And so to me, I do, like I was just saying this to my parents the other day, that even the New York Times, which does a good, here's a little journalism aside 101, of like, that's why they have people that they interview and quote within articles, mm-hmm. is because it makes it about a person and not just like a list of facts. Mm-hmm. But even the New York Times will have stories that's like, and in all of China, da 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 da, and like, well, that's news to me because it didn't happen here. And
what you're talking
like,
about.
I'm getting into a little bit of postmodernism, but I'm not saying there's no such thing as the truth. All you liars out there. But I'm just saying it is like my preferred mode of understanding and interpreting the world is not necessarily fact-based. That doesn't mean that lies are acceptable. I feel like I have to be very careful about this. Lies are not acceptable, but the giving me a list of facts doesn't tell me anything in a meaningful way that I can engage with. And that's, right. That's my philosophy, but that's what I feel.
If we're going to continue to integrate to be people that want to live here or in any other country as a whole freaking planet of people that exist with each other, like we need stories. We don't need people telling these basic boring facts. Like we need somebody speaking of like a woman vlogger, Miriam in China, and her stories of her living on the farm. Like a lot of her stuff are kind of close to being almost like music videos. They're placid scenes of her like cooking and farming with her in-laws and her family. There's interesting story. Mama Hoo even like to get these stories out of a creative area. I mean, YouTube should be an amazing place, and it's just like Twitter.
It should be.
There's so much awful stuff that happens in it. But to start cultivating these different voices of getting real stories, to get entertainment. Like I don't want to sit and like watch the news all day long. Like I want to sit down and be entertained and find a story about.
You know what the news is? It's horrible.
It's awful. It's always awful. It's always been awful, and it's worse now than it's ever been before. So that you could
as they always say, it's worse now than it's ever been before.
But so yeah, let us know like what kind of interesting stories about China that aren't your average. Hey, look, I went on vacation and I climbed a mountain. Isn't it pretty? It's a great story, sure. Yeah.
But how did that mountain make you feel?
How does it make you feel?
Kirk is climbing the mountain.
Yeah. So I don't know. Should we? What?
You wanna play?
Yeah.
Number 1. 会有卡拉OK吗? And that means, will there be karaoke?
Well, if you're going out to dinner, that's the first question, because then you can decide whether or not you want to go out or not.
Yeah, because this nothing about the question betrays do you like or dislike karaoke, but it is often important for both camps to know. Is there gonna be karaoke?
I suddenly found I'm a little busy this evening.
Yeah. Oh. I couldn't possibly.
I mean, it's meant as something to go out and have fun with. But.
Yeah. Well, I find karaoke is fun if I'm singing, So I joined a band instead because I don't want to hear other people sing. But it is, well, I've read this, that on the coasts, on the cool East Coast, karaoke is over. But in Luzhou, it is still the thing to do. And we live between two karaoke palaces.
Which caterwauling into the night.
Late nights, it's a little bit frightening, the screaming you hear outside, but it's just karaoke.
Yeah, I mean, there's just not a lot to like about karaoke, especially like if you're a singer already. I mean, maybe that's your one place to get out and belt it out and everything like that. But
yeah,
I mean, a lot of it's. Again, I'm sure lots of people have fun with it. Not me.
No,
I don't like it.
I think like everybody else has fun with it.
Yeah. I don't want any part of it. So who's asking this?
Yeah.
Or who's telling this in this phrase?
I mean,
who do you see?
I don't know. My personal preference would be like it's you, to make sure that there's not going to be karaoke.
But it's somebody. I like it that it's somebody offering you out to dinner.
Okay, yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
That's probably how your average night's going to start.
Which is very calculating. Hey, do you want to come to dinner? Will there be karaoke?
What's for dinner?
There's like, you're weighing your options.
Yeah, how much are we going for roast duck? Or are we just going for barbecue? Like,
yeah, I mean, I guess I can see that's the question to me was so obvious that I skipped over, like, why would you be asking this? It's because you're weighing your options of an invite.
That's what I'd be doing.
Yeah. So that's that.
I don't know. I'm always wary when anything goes, because I anytime we're invited out, that's my first thought is like, shit, is there going to be karaoke?
Yeah.
No matter what, if you can say like, hey, we're going to
we're going to go pick flowers in the
Is there going to be karaoke? Yes, of course there's going to be karaoke. Outside? Yeah, we're bringing an amplifier.
Yeah, actually, I did go to a picnic that had karaoke.
Ta-da!
You ready for the next one?
Yeah, let's bring it on.
So there's a gimmick to this week's sentences. See if you can figure out what it is.
Okay.
卡拉 OK 是星期几? What day is the karaoke?
Oh no! Those are just painful all over. Well,
this one is definitely, you don't ask this if you don't like karaoke. This is eager anticipation.
I mean, this is actually pretty helpful now because now, given this theme, these are ways to skirt around the graciousness of a karaoke invite for the evening, afternoon, or morning.
I guess you could, what day is, if you're like passive aggressive, what day is the karaoke? Oh, I was washing my hair that day.
Yeah. I have another karaoke party that I'm going to. I won't be able to, I'm
going to the dentist. I won't be able to sing for days after that.
Yeah, because karaoke can be put into almost any situation is the thing. We've been plenty of times that
if you want, the karaoke is every day.
Yeah.
You don't have to pick a day.
Situations that I just did not expect. I mean, you get used to it eventually, so that now I'm like skittish like a cat, that like it's going to happen at any point. Like the new washing machine's here. Is there going to be karaoke?
Yeah, not anymore. We don't have a Samsung anymore.
Yeah, it's got those songs to it. But yeah, like whether it's dinner or lunch or a school function. I mean, we've been to things where it was like, come to a meeting and it suddenly turned into dinner, suddenly turns into karaoke. Sometimes stick around for nighttime karaoke. Like, oh my God, would you all day long with this?
The one thing though is this lesson taught me karaoke, and I've never heard any Chinese person say that. Maybe they do. Maybe it's a regional thing. Maybe in Beijing they say it that way. Here everybody says KTV.
Yeah.
Which stands for karaoke television. But it took us a little while to figure out, like, all the bars on the river, why they all said KTV and didn't serve any drinks. Yeah,
we're like, well, what's going on in here?
You have all these beers lined up behind this, but like, there's no place for us to sit and drink them.
Yeah, we're looking for like a nice like little patio so we can overlook the river.
And there's something off about your music.
And given the fact that like most of ours alongside the river are they're at that level, like whenever the
when the
thing
AC floods, yeah, they get
then
flooded.
Everyone, the whole they have the stank
smell
of
like must.
careful of the river rats all singing their karaoke tunes.
Is the karaoke underwater?
That's not a question that's in there, is it?
No, it isn't. But you want the next question?
Yeah.
学校会有卡拉OK吗? Will the school have karaoke?
Oh man.
And I haven't actually been to at the school karaoke.
Mm-hmm. I mean, a lot of our students back at the high school, that was like their big thing to when they got time to get out of campus and like sneak out over.
Yeah, like Christmas Eve.
Yeah.
The karaoke parlors are full of school children.
Yeah, and then they're all drinking beer, and you're like, "Wait, what's going on here?"
Yeah.
They're like, "Yeah,
There's no drinking age."
where else are we gonna go?"
Yeah.
I guess it's pretty safe. You're here with our teachers, anyways.
Yeah, I think our school has a karaoke machine, but we have not had the kindergartners do karaoke yet. Maybe the teachers do it.
The kids kind of do it all day long, don't they?
Well, the kids are just singing all day long.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Life is a karaoke machine for
Which
your
our
children.
friend Jessie did point out, like, because she's from here. She was our student. She's from China, and she's studying abroad in Alabama. And she said when she socializes now, she says her American friends like are very shy about singing and they won't sing in public. But she's like, I'll sing anything, but I don't want to dance. They all want to dance, and like I can't dance. I'm so embarrassed.
Yeah. Those are some big cultural. You looking for like what's the difference between America and China? One can dance, one can sing. If we get them together, imagine. Like,
and that's the tragedy of the animosity that the two countries feel towards each other.
If we could just bring them together, then we'd have France.
Then we'd have France. La vie en rose. You want one more?
Yeah. give us the big.
她爱唱卡拉OK吗? Does she like to sing karaoke? And actually, so the lesson translated as like, but the verb they use is love.
Pretty strong.
Yeah, so it is. It's not. This is not a presupposing the answer is no. She does like to. She probably likes to sing karaoke, I think.
But here's what bothers me, though.
Yeah.
Is that it's directed not at a person in particular. I mean, maybe
well, that's weird.
If it's over the phone or something like that, and we're trying to like make plans with somebody else, and we're like, oh
yeah, Jessica's gonna come. Does she like to sing karaoke?
Yeah, that's okay. But
we're going to karaoke. Does she like karaoke?
But I get my initial vibe was like we're sitting in a room with people, and somebody points at her. Does she like to?
Well,
that's disturbing.
Because like they're.
Unless it's a foreigner.
If you're not making a plan, does she like to sing karaoke is a weird thing to inquire. Like, is she singing badly? And you're like, does she even like this?
Does she even?
She's torturing us. Is she torturing herself?
Maybe she should go home.
Yeah.
But yeah, just not being able to have any kind of purchase on your own decision.
Yeah.
But yeah, if it was a foreigner and it was some Chinese people were planning maybe around a school event or something like that, and they're asking a minder, like, you know, so the new English teacher, does she like to, then, you know, that's not so bad.
Yeah. She's sitting by herself in a corner.
Yeah.
Does she like to sing karaoke?
She's 3 beers and a watermelon deep.
Let's invite her over. Oh, sad, lonely expat.
All right, well.
And
we got one more.
One more.
Oh, hit it.
要是有乒乓球就好了. It would be great if there were ping pong.
That would make karaoke better.
I switched it up.
If I think in America there's always like some kind of like mashup style to like get
ping pong karaoke.
Well, high wings or dart hats, or you're always trying to put two things together to get the most extreme awesomeness.
The thing itself is not good enough. It needs adornment.
Right. Yeah. You need like pizza with cheese in the crust, or you know, why even bother going?
Or ping pong itself as beer pong.
Right. So, ping pong karaoke.
Yeah.
you do it both at the same time. You could put a microphone
Or is
in
it
the
really
paddle
like
while you.
insulting, stereotypical, like, hey, Chinese friends, you like ping pong and karaoke?
Wow, we're the worst foreigners.
Yeah. I mean,
I got a business deal for you, straight from America. Mash up the two most Chinese things you could possibly do.
That a lot of our Chinese friends go to karaoke, and a lot of our Chinese friends can play ping pong.
Yeah.
They're better at it than me, although it wouldn't be hard. You're probably better at it than me.
I can't do either.
I don't have stereoscopic vision, so it's very hard for me to play sports.
And yeah, I can't do either, so either way I'm left out. But I could open a business, I suppose.
Yeah.
If there was enough backing behind it and I didn't really have to show up and I could just collect money.
Okay. Investors, please.
Yeah.
But what I like about this question, or it's not a question, it's a statement.
Yeah.
If there was karaoke, no, not if there was karaoke. We're off the karaoke. If there was ping pong, it would. I'd love it, kind of thing. Like, what would make this moment better? Are you grousing? Are you like, we could really use some ping pong around here? Or is it just like, this is your dream? Like, the only thing that could make this better, whatever this is ping pong.
Ping pong dinner.
Yeah.
Ping pong hot pot. You could pong right over the pot.
That's so dangerous, but I would pick up a paddle to try out ping pong hot pot.
Would you do it with a net?
Instead of beer pong, hot pot pong. And the bonus is, if you're really good at it, you give your
you lose your ball.
opposition third degree burns.
Would you do it with a net, or is it just getting over the bowl itself?
I mean, I kind of see the bowl would maybe be over the bowl. That's maybe less wasteful of plastic.
I mean, you don't want to get it in. It's just a bunch of
and less
plastic.
Dangerous.
Yeah.
I
you gotta get
immediately
over.
went to the most dangerous thing is you've got a meatball and you're like chucking it in and splashing everyone behind
anarchist.
you.
You're with a meatball?
Well, I
Ping
mean,
pong
I don't.
with meatballs?
I'm gonna melt a bunch of plastic into a hot pot.
That's why I
terrible.
didn't think that at all. But yeah, okay, so meatball.
So you've just made like a dangerous moat.
Yeah. I mean, you could still have your skewers in between, and then you pong over back and forth between. And you could have a whole table,
But
so
then
everyone
you
could
still have the
like a
problem
6-way ping pong.
If you get it in, you're melting plastic into your food.
Right.
And you're,
just don't.
you're possibly splashing.
Invite people that are good at ping pong first of all.
Oh, then I don't get to go.
Right. But a meatball though.
Yeah.
If you did it. Maybe you could like have it like a pre-dinner game, and so everyone like steps way back from it and then gets the meatball into it.
That's like
then you can.
There's a lot of cultures have like entertainment for the food preparation, like the knife's edge noodles that you watch the guy slice them into a pot from like 10 feet away, or like. In northern Spain, they have this apple cider that the waiters will pour over their head into your glass on the table.
In America, we could do things like maybe like horseshoe wieners. Or try to whip a wiener around a horseshoe.
What is that? The onion. When you go to the fake hibachis and they put an onion smoky.
A smoky onion?
Like
on a hibachi?
they make a tower of onions
and then smoke shoots out the top.
Yeah.
Is that a game or is that just a trick?
Well, I mean, it's your food as entertainment. It's your pre-dinner entertainment. That's also
kind of like 𝗵𝗂𝗶𝗴𝗶, like.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking of. 𝗵𝗂𝗶𝗴𝗶.
Ha.
And like throwing shrimp into your hat or whatever they do. Yeah. So I think it's not totally crazy to make this. Like, everybody chuck your food into the hot pot from far away.
Yeah, you can do it up again. If you do it like with a wall or a tarp or something behind it so that the splash guard.
If this dinner was ping pong, that'd be great. This is a high sentence. A high person says this kind of sentence. Oh, man. If they put cheese inside of donuts, that would be great.
Don't do drugs in China.
Yeah, I haven't done a lot of drugs, so that's
what
I think drugged people say.
Yeah, they're dangerous people, especially when they're near hot
Got my
pots.
drug education for reefer madness, so.
There's enough.
Oh no, I'm dying, man.
There's enough intoxication from the peppercorn itself that you don't have to. You're gonna hallucinate anyways.
Yeah.
Especially if you have noodles.
Noodles to who?